Well, it's great to meet you.
Excited.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too. It's wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you inviting me and accepting me as like it's like a mission I'm on,
Yeah,
spreading things about cancer and telling about cancer that it can be prevented. And please wake up, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I really want to highlight. And I just think that surviving something like that gives you so many things that you realize that maybe you didn't before. It's a big journey. But before we get to that point, I'm curious, we all survived this pandemic, which was pretty a big deal for all of us. How much of surviving that time period has opened your eyes to new things or led you to living in a different way?
Oh my God, so many revolutions. So actually, I'll tell you about me. I don't want to say this in the camera, but I haven't taken vaccines.
Okay.
Um, and because the reason is I really went dug into it and understood I had a lymphatic cancer I was diagnosed with. And asked my doctors whether I should be getting the vaccine. I don't know whether what's the efficacy and all. They said that's just wait. There's no rush. You can do easily things. And I actually got contracted with COVID. And it was my mental like I knew what things to be done naturally, and I came out of it without taking any medications, and so many of my clients did. It is just about not panicking and really being calm and in sync with your body. I'm not saying everybody has the same response, but I also saw a lot of people who had core metabolic issues, like some of the other conditions. They suffered a lot, still suffering. So it's very important. Everybody woke up to the fact that now there needs to be something. We have to take care of ourselves, just not wait for anything drastic to happen. Can be any disease. But it's like a lot of people, a lot of youngsters are now getting aware, and they are fed up of this whole um, big pharma things going on, and they want to try holistic methods and want to live naturally as much as possible and not rely on medication. So there definitely is a movement going on,
Yeah.
and but a lot things to be people are living in fear, more and more fear also.
Yeah. So let's get to the heart and soul of your mission. I'm going to do that by asking you this. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at career day. One of the kids is curious and is like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you
Yeah.
answer that child?
So I help people going through recovering from cancer if they have chosen any method, whether it's going through conventional treatments or just taking care of it naturally. I help them to decide what foods to take, what supplements to take with an integrative and holistic method, what should be your exercises, what other strategies to apply when you have certain side effects of the conventional treatments, if you have nausea or if you have gut problems, if you have constipation, etc. Energy levels are low, so we'll strategize a game plan, you may say, to undergo and remain in that cancer free zone. That's actually the goal. You've got it, cancer, it's fine now. Whatever you do. But after that is actually the real journey starts.
Yeah.
You don't want to get cancer again and again. It's very painful journey to go through. So, my mission is to tell people, first of all, that cancer can be prevented. You can start from today onwards. And if even if you have got cancer, do not take responsibility of your own health in your own hands, not relying on doctors, understand your root cause, and make a game plan for remaining cancer free.
So when you were like 10 or 11 years old, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was your dream?
Actually, I was a fashion designer
Oh,
before I came into this. I had my own store. I was working with Bollywood, the stars, and I was living the dream. And I had a beautiful brand. I was very accomplished. And I got diagnosed in the age of 34. When I was 34, going at the peak of my career, prime, and was not able to comprehend that such a young age I could get cancer. No family history of cancer as such. So for me, it was unacceptable. I never knew that I'm going to come into this health space until it, until I had to go through my own healing journey. And I was like, oh my God, I wish, I hope somebody was there to tell me when I was going through this. Somebody could, I could have sat in a seminar, or I would have listened to certain podcast and know that cancer could be prevented. I would have done certain things.
So take me back to your childhood because, you know, surviving and getting through cancer takes a lot of strength. I mean, I know
Yeah.
there's medical interventions,
Yeah.
but there's a fortitude, there's a backbone that you acquire. Take me back to your childhood. What were these seeds and strengths that were planted into you that allowed you to not only get over it, to conquer it, but to help people prevent that from happening to them in their lives?
Yeah. That's a good question. So I've always been a very outgoing person, in the sense that I was captain of my house in my school. I was like the best student. I was awarded as the best student. I was always like a go-getter. I always wanted to achieve things, and I always wanted to excel no matter what. I think that persistence, and I knew discipline and persistence is required. I've seen in my family. I've always gotten it from my mom, because she was always telling us that, eat these fruits or do these things before taking any medications. You should do XYZ things. If you have a cold, just take some herbs or Indian Ayurvedic medicines before taking that medication. So I had some inclination towards holistic health when I was a child. And that persistence and that consistency, I think when I was in I was also very much active in sports like basketball and other activities. So sports give you this resistance power, this like consistency and discipline to do anything with ease, I guess. So that qualities, of course there are certain qualities you develop afterwards and with time, but those qualities helped me to remain true to my path, and true till now I follow certain discipline and practices. So I think being playing sports, being active, connecting with nature, we've always been out. I don't know even a single day we were not going out and playing. We were always encouraged to go out and play. And we were also living in a community. Like I was living in a joint family, so family support was huge. And I'm very lucky that my parents, they were, though they were in New York and my treatment was going on in India, they flew and they were with me and supported me. So that makes a huge gives a huge support system and a backbone, as you said, to you. So living in a community and being with your parents, being in the guidance of someone does help.
So, what did you realize about beating cancer? What revelations did you have? How did you change your life following that?
First of all, this whole relationship with your own body. Like we always compartmentalize our body and brain and our emotion health and everything. When going through cancer, I realized that everything is so connected, each and every organ, your brain chemistry with your gut. And I actually went through when I was on this certain plans and detoxing and all. I realized how better and better I'm feeling, and I never felt that way ever in my life. I was able to get up early in the morning. The circadian rhythm was like, my mom was like always shouting, why aren't you like a early morning person? And I didn't know that I just couldn't wake up because my gut was not really well, and I was not, my lung capacity also was low, and I was not oxygenating myself. So these small little nuances when you change about your life, and I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable how your body heals. And believe me, I got, when you do certain things on a consistent way, like meditate and breath work and good nutrition, you develop certain intuition, and that intuition power played with me as such. I got an intuition that I'm cancer free, and I don't need any treatments. And actually, the reports say so. and I refused radiation. I wanted to make this relationship with my body because I listened to myself. I really wanted to take a break, and I told my doctors, listen, I want to take a break. Let me just give my body some time and make a relationship with it more deeper and deeper. And I didn't take radiation, and since then I'm living cancer free. I don't take one single medication. I am absolutely living a medication free life. So this realization that, oh my god, your mind, body, soul is like all one entity and not different, and one leads to the other. Like if you heal one, definitely the other heals. So this was a big revelation to me, and I started, all of a sudden you won't see the nature, but small changes in your daily routine, in your thinking, in how you're being positive, in how you're being consistent, how you're able to even refuse certain things like desserts or anything, because you have developed that willpower and that mental space that this is not good for my body and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just food. Fasting helped me a lot because when you retain, or when you just don't eat, the kind of physiological and psychological changes happens in the body is just amazing, and
Yeah,
it's like free. You just have to refrain from not eating, so it's like so many things. You When it all starts with what you're putting in your mouth, everything starts with putting in your mouth.
yeah.
And when you change that, you will definitely reveal a whole new universe in itself.
Absolutely. But it's like a holistic approach. I mean, exercise is good, supplements are good, learning, I mean, because everybody has a weird relationship with eating. It's like it seems as though what you're proposing is things that are just logical. It's not earth-shattering. It doesn't require a lot of money. It's just being logical about the fact that our bodies are temples that need to be taken care of, and if they're not, there's a chance that something could happen.
Absolutely right. You're so right. We have got this vessel from, you can say, God or whatever, and you need to keep it clean, and you need to visit as a temple. And just how will you keep the temple? Would you just keep all the types of toxins or all kind of garbage? No, same with your body. And even from the mind, if I feel a lot of people are getting more and more stressed and have so much of unnecessary negative emotions. It's just because they are not clearing their mind. They don't want to. First of all, there has to be a will. I'm not happy with where I am right now. What can I do? What can I change? And I am a believer that anything in life, whatever you are going through, it's just making you. It's just a something which has come into your life to elevate you. So if you look from that perspective, that cancer actually happened, it's the best thing which happened to me. I wouldn't be here sitting here and talking to you. I wouldn't have changed so many people's life. I wouldn't have the power to understand my own self and lead such a happy life. So I'm very grateful for what I've gone through, and I have a deep gratitude that it showed me a path now where I can also lead others.
So, doing this requires a lot of strength on your part. Who has been that inspiration? Who's been that hero for you in your life that's allowed you to help others and be a hero to other people?
Uh, I won't say one person, but when I was going through cancer, I went through so many I've talked to so many people. I read books, biographies of people who were going through cancer and how they came out of it. So I was always drawn to, different, extracting the best out of from everyone. I don't think so. There is one idol in my life, but my mother has been an inspiration for sure. Uh, my biggest inspiration also comes from my grandfather. He's always been so alive and like friendly with people, and emotionally he had gone through a lot, but we've seen how he had led his life and how people love him still, like people from different cities, and still I'm in America, like people remember him. He had impacted the world with his kindness and his deep relationship. So I feel that, I could inculcate that into me and have this love and show love to people in form of whatever I'm doing right now. It can be anything. So I think that's too inspiration on my life. And otherwise, I think everyone, like my clients are inspire me every day. Anybody who's going through cancer, when I talk to them, it's like they always inspire me to do better and better, and whatever I'm can excel in whatever I'm doing.
There was a jazz singer in Kansas City. Her name was Molly Hammer, and she was going through a cancer battle. And unfortunately, she passed away in 2020. It went into remission and it came back and forth. But I remember I interviewed her, and the first time I did, she said after I beat it the first time and it went in remission, she said yes to everything. She was like, I used to be like, I don't know, or I would say no, and she was like, I just opened that door to yes. Is that
Yeah.
something that you resonate with?
Yes, absolutely. I was a close person. Like, I was not as great a risk taker. Then now, like, I am open to a lot of things, and I do not like, even from my emotional aspect, if I have to say someone, listen, you made a difference in my life, or I love you, I would just do it that in that moment, like seize the moment,
Yeah,
not wait for anything. Oh, that day will come, or Thanksgiving will come, and I'll thank everyone. I do not care anymore. I do not care about people's opinions. I live, I wouldn't have started my health consulting if I would have really sat down and said, "Oh, I don't have any qualifications."
yeah,
I wouldn't have. I got an opportunity to work as a health coach in a corporate firm. I've never been in corporates. And I said yes because I thought, oh my God, it's a huge opportunity. And actually, at that beginning of my career, I must have consulted 200 people, rurally and urban people, and I got so much perspective from there. So
yeah.
yes, I am more open as a person, and I take risks. I have that certainty that it's all good, and nothing is more important actually than my health. That is also one great lesson which I've learned, and I want to live like 100 years. So
Yeah.
that's my goal now.
Excellent. So let me ask you this. Of all the biographies that you read of cancer survivors and people that have gone through the struggle that you've gone through, if you could meet one of them and spend some time with them, who would you love to meet and talk to?
Actually, she's no more, but I want to really sit with Louise Hay.
Yeah.
She's one of the main pioneers of showing us that how emotions, and she had cancer, and she bought so many. Heal Your Life is such a legendary book. I really would want to meet her. The second person I would like to meet is Yuvraj Singh. He's a famous cricketer in our country. He had gone through a very severe stage of cancer, and he has been such a game. Like, after he went through cancer, he made a world record of centuries, and and I think he gave some. He was also one of the pioneers why we won the World Cup. And after that, he's still doing a great job of his NGO, working with cancer patients and stuff like that. So I definitely would like to meet him as well.
Yeah. So what is it that gets you up every day, that motivates you to keep the strength up to do this work that you're doing? Because you're giving a lot of yourself to help other people
Yeah.
get to a better place, but you are a human being and you have to evolve and develop too. What's that collective energy for you every day?
First of all, to just ground myself, meditate. I start my day with meditation, hydrating myself, and really asking this question that, okay, how can I be the best version of me today? What can I do today to help others, to elevate others? Because when we give, we receive in abundance. I've always seen that it never goes out of, when you give and when you are in a service of others, that how can you elevate others, how can you help others, you will get energy from anywhere. Like, I have workshops going on. I have my Indian clients, I have my American clients. I also take yoga workshops. People ask me, how do you get so much energy? I said, I don't know. It's just that willpower, and I feel that I am so blessed, I guess. And when you ask these right questions and you do the right things, I mean, see people like Bruce Lipton and stuff, he's in the 90s and still giving workshops, and
Yeah,
he still travels. And somebody asked him this question. He said, age is just a number. Keep doing, if you love what you're doing, you will find the energy and you'll find the time
you
to do
certainly will.
anything.
You certainly will. So, of all of these things that you've done and accomplished and evolved into in your life, what are you the proudest of?
Oh, wow. Proudest of. First of all, beating cancer.
Yeah,
That's something which it was unbelievable because when you get cancer, it's like, I mean, is this the end of life, or you're going to get secondary disease and all? And it takes a lot of strength to go through what I've gone through. I was also going through a divorce the same time.
yeah,
So everything came together. I had to shut my store, which was my love. I love designing. So it was like I was physically, mentally, emotionally, financially at a very bad space. And coming out of it required a lot of strength. So I am pretty proud of myself that I've done that. And secondly, creating a platform where we can actually help people, give them guidance, give them hope, and telling them that, anything is possible. Have that certainty and have that power. Like I've also just released my book this year, The Healing Power Within. So I just want to tell the world that it is possible. And miracles happen every day.
absolutely. So, at this point in your life, everyone has a perception of you: family, friends, clients, everyone that buys your book, everyone that knows you, but you run the show. What is your perception of you? Who do you think you are? Yeah,
Oh God. I think I'm just a messenger right now, that I to tell people, just being an example in front of people, that they everything and anything happens for a reason. You just have to just always look from a positive angle rather than negative angle. There's no point in holding your past, and there's no point in being in this victim mindset. There's a lot of people love to be there, and I am just here to tell and prove that, listen, you can just take an example and not exactly be with me, but be like me, but just take an example. We have hundreds of example around us, and do something meaningful and purposeful for a life, because right now we need everyone to come collectively and consciously to elevate each other. It's very delicate what is going on in the world. Environment's changing. People are getting sicker and sicker in spite of so much advancements we've seen. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but collectively and consciously, if we elevate ourselves, we can make a difference to not only us but our neighbors and cities and countries, environment, animals. So it's high time for us to work in, in a community and take that power which belongs to us in
yeah,
our own hands.
I totally agree. So, if anyone wants to pick up a copy of your book, they want to reach out, they want to get involved more in your world and what you're doing, how can they do that? What's the best way?
Yeah, my website is called Awaana Health, AWAANAHELTH.com. And I'm on all social media channels: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Shruti_Sethi is my Instagram. So please do reach out. I would love to connect with you and help you out. And my book is available on Amazon as well, The Healing Power Within. So grab a copy and let me know.
Absolutely. What a wonderful story. Thank you so much for opening up. Thank you for your time today, and best of luck. Have a great holiday season.
Thank you, Joe. It was a pleasure and lovely questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.